Hi everyone, it's Lisa. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I'm going to be making this Slimline card using the brand new Sprinkles Slimline background die from the Stamps of Life. And it is this particular die here, and I do not know at the time of filming if this large rectangle to cut it out is included. So if you're interested in this die, you'll have to take a look at it on the Stamps of Life website and see if it comes with that large rectangle to cut it out. I'm also going to be incorporating a couple other stamp sets. This is the Cone to Dish stamp set, and it comes with this ice cream sundae bowl as well as the ice cream cone. And then I'm also going to be using the Scream for Ice Cream set, which includes another ice cream cone, but I'm specifically going to be using the ice cream stamp for this particular set. And this set is interchangeable with the Cone to Dish. The Cone to Dish just has the bottom portion of the ice cream sundae, which is what you see here. And then in order to get the ice cream part, you have to couple it with the Scream for Ice Cream. And that Scream for Ice Cream set also had a solid stamp. If you didn't want to color, you can use the solid to stamp out your ice cream color. And I went ahead and stamped out this dish on my Bristol Smooth cardstock. And I stamped it out with my Stamps of Life Forever black ink because I am using my Zig Clean Color Real Brush pens, doing a little bit of watercoloring, although I'm not going to be using water. I really like using the blender pen that you can purchase separately with these Zig markers. So I'm basically laying down the gray, which is my dark, and then the light gray, a little bit extending beyond that dark color, and pale gray. So three colors that I'm using: gray, light gray, and pale gray, and then taking the blender brush and just blending that out. I do come back in and just go over these lines in the ice cream dish just another time, just to make them stand out a little bit, and do put a little bit of the darker color there along the edge of the top. I think I used probably the light gray there at the top. I didn't want to go so dark. And then just using my blender pen just to blend that out. I stamped out three of the actual ice creams, and I'm going to color them up in different colors. One's going to be pink, one's going to be blue, and one is going to be purple. So I just color my dark, which is the peach pink, along the bottom, and then come in with my sugar almond pink, and then just blend both of those colors out with the blender pen. I do put a little bit of the ink in the middle and then just blend that out. I wanted the inside of that ice cream cone to be much lighter than the outside. So again, just using the two colors there with the blender pen to color that pink ice cream. Next, I move on to the blue, and I'm using two colors here. The Cobalt blue is the darkest color, and then the light blue is the lighter color. Just laying the darker color there along the bottom, and then coming in with the lighter color blue, and then just blending both of those out with the blender. And next I move on to my purple ice cream, come in with my lilac, which is the darkest purple, along the bottom, and then come in with the English lavender as well as the blender to blend those out. And once I have all of those colored up, I will use the matching dies to just die cut those ice creams out of the cardstock to use those on my card. I am taking a piece of mint chip cardstock from the Stamps of Life and die cutting the background. I also took the large rectangle die and die cut a piece of the razzleberry cardstock, and I'm just going to glue the sprinkles background onto the razzleberry cardstock. So it turns out when I finished up this card that I actually put this Slimline panel on a little bit of a larger razzleberry panel so that some of the razzleberry sticks out on the side and adds more contrast to this mint chip color. So technically I didn't even need to layer this on this other piece of razzleberry cardstock. I could have just put it on that panel layer, but that was an afterthought. So here I was just cutting off some of that excess that didn't get quite even with that background. And then I stamped the Sentiment Got Ice Cream out of the razzleberry ink just on some white cardstock, and I'm going to cut that out. And I'm going to cut a fishtail banner out of one side of that sentiment strip, and that's going to end up going there at the bottom of that card. So I was just sizing it just to see how I wanted to place it. So I go ahead and adhere the ice cream dish to my panel, and I end up gluing down the sentiment off camera. It was not filming, but I did glue that down, and I snipped off the excess since it was too long. And then I'm going to go ahead and layer up these ice cream scoops onto this panel, starting with the purple one, followed by the pink one, and then finally the blue one. So part of the cone to dish stamp set includes a spoon, and I went ahead and stamped that out, colored it up off screen, and I'm just tucking it in here at the top of this ice cream sundae. I used the same gray colors as I used in the dish. So here I have a piece of white cardstock that I cut down to a slimline card size, and I used the slimline card die set from the Stamps of Life to cut that down. And I also cut a razzleberry layer that measures 3 3/8 by 8 3/8, and I'm going to layer that panel onto the razzleberry layer. So technically I didn't have to include another piece of razzleberry cardstock underneath that slimline panel. I could have just put the slimline panel directly on that piece. And then I'm just layering that onto my slimline card base. Next, I add some purple epoxy dots to the front of this card, and then I thought that sprinkles would look really cute on this ice cream, so I took a piece of the mint cardstock, the mint chip cardstock, put some double-sided adhesive on it, and I'm just taking some of those sprinkles out of that die and just adding them to each one of those ice cream scoops. So that completes my card, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more card making tutorials. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.